you think this will do as well as the first one?
No.
That was quick.
Hello and welcome to Cassette, where you can eject wherever you want, but please don't forget to rewind. I'm Ethan.
I'm Annmarie.
And Annmarie, what are we going to be talking about right now? And let me just stop you right there, because we both know, as a movie podcast and TV show podcast, we are definitely talking about the most popular subject matter in that realm, which is indeed, most certainly... So Mozart dropped a new piece of music, and we have to talk about it.
Mozart?
Yeah.
Isn't he dead?
300, all the hundreds of years post-mortem, man drops a new song. Hell yeah.
Wait.
No, but...
Wait, hold on, go back. I thought we were reviewing Joker, but, that's totally fine.
Oh yeah, we saw that too, I guess.
Okay, but first off, Mozart, you're still hitting the charts. Good for you, man.
No, we saw Joker. Folie à deux. Ado?
Yeah,
Folie
I think so.
I'm not...
We're not French.
No.
We're Italian.
Yeah.
Well, I am.
Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, we saw Joker Folie à deux.
Early screening.
Yeah, nice early screening. Thank you, AMC. No sponsorship, sadly. We are tragically poor. In perpetuity. But anyway, so, Annmarie, I have my thoughts about this movie, and they are very...
Mixed?
Yes and no. But I would like to hear yours first.
I'll be honest. I think my thoughts are pretty mixed here. I like the first Joker movie. I think it's a good film. It's not my kind of film, but overall, it's very good. And so when Todd Phillips was gonna do a sequel, aka was forced to do a sequel, I was kind of against it. And then I learned it was a musical, and then I was kind of against it a little bit more. And this movie, I think it's good. It's visually beautiful, but I don't think it lives up to the first one.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. I think it's definitely one, like you were saying, Todd Phillips definitely did not want to make this movie.
Not at all.
Yeah, no, he definitely did not, and it shows, and this movie is basically a big-ass middle finger to the studios, to Warner Brothers, saying, like, nah, I did not want to make this, and since you're having me make this, I'm gonna make it sure that you can't make another one with some other aspects. It's crazy. Like, this movie is so... Like, he really, as this script is, happening in front of us, unraveling, it's just like Todd Phillips is just, you can feel his anger and his just reluctance to write this thing and direct it. And just like, I don't want to do this.
I'm just still so surprised he decided to go a musical route. He was like, fine, if you're going to make me do a sequel, I'm going to do something wacky.
Yeah, well, I mean, and it's like, it still has the same vibes as the first one, and the message that it, comes across, I think the musical element does work, because it's all a show and all that, and it's just, that's kind of what the Joker in essence is, like a big-ass show that takes it, too far, and I think the musical aspect really does help with it, in that message, but I think you were saying it like when we were coming out of the theater was like it probably could have been done a little better.
Yeah, this is where we disagree. I don't think the music really added anything. Was it good? Yeah. Was Lady Gaga great at singing? Of course. But I just felt like it was weirdly placed in certain areas. It just I don't know if that was the right move.
Yeah, and I gotta say that it actually, I think it does. It enhanced the experience, enhanced the storyline, and again, it's the whole thing of showmanship, and what in essence, what the Joker is all about. But here again, it's just like you're going into this movie kind of thinking like, oh, he actually had an idea for a sequel, and that's why he's making it, because he wouldn't make it otherwise. But once you sit down and start watching this movie, it's like, oh, this man most certainly did not want to make this movie. And I don't know, really, other than the brilliant cinematography, like, and it's executed, like, this whole movie is executed very well. The cinematography, the music, the score, the soundtrack, the acting, like, everything is just executed so beautifully and brilliantly. But you can't help but feel like they didn't want to make it. This movie did not want to be made, and it's here in spite of itself.
Yeah. Again, like, it's so, I walked out kind of confused because I was like, it's not bad at all.
No.
Like, it's very different and unique, but I feel like it just feels so unnecessary.
Yeah, it's like a well-manicured middle finger.
Yes. Why is that so right?
Like, I mean, you could tell there's some, like, malice intent in there, but, like, it just looks so nice and pretty that you can't help but admire it.
It is really pretty. The cinematography is awesome. And again, like, I don't want to rat on it too much. Lady Gaga, Joaquin Phoenix, they're really good in this. Like, their chemistry really carries it. And again, Joaquin is such a good actor, and I think he understands Joker, that he really plays this character well. I just don't think Todd Phillips wanted to do this.
Yeah, I mean, that's take a shot every time we say that, because, I mean, it shows. This movie is the epitome of Todd Phillips didn't want to make this. But it's a very well-made movie where it's like, you're kind of glad he made it, because it's a very well-made movie. So that's why we're really mixed about it. But I gotta say, you were talking about Joaquin Phoenix and his portrayal of the Joker here. And I gotta say, it does have one of my favorite, like, Joker moments of all time in this movie. And it's really just a frame. And it's like, obviously in the trailers, you see that there's like a courtroom scene. And it's just, it involves that. There's like a wide shot, and it really does epitomize the Joker in the world of Gotham and who he is in society and just as a personality. And I don't know, when I think of Joker, it's like, now that's going to be one of the shots I think of that comes to mind.
Yeah.
And, that's, again, another reason I'm happy this movie was actually made.
I love the shot and this is in the trailer, when Harley and Joker they're talking to each other through the glass wall, and she draws a smile, and then he moves his head over. I'm like, that's so cool. I think this one also has more color, so maybe that's why I enjoyed it a little bit more. It's more colorful.
Yeah, there is more vibrancy in there, and I think the musical aspects do kind of enhance those moments too.
Yeah.
And you can't deny that.
No, I'm not denying.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Do you think this will do as well as the first one?
No.
That was quick.
No, I mean, like, seriously, I don't think it will. I think it's going to do well. I just don't think it's going to do as well. Because the first one, I think a lot of people were curious about it, and with all the awards buzz that was going on with it as well. And just the idea of like a standalone Joker movie with an Academy Award. I think at the time, was it winning or nominated actor?
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, I mean, it's just such like a fuck.
Oh gosh, okay. I agree with you. I don't think it's gonna do as well. I don't think the rewatchability factor is that high. Even though the first one, I don't think has a good rewatchability factor. A lot of people that we talked to, we invited some friends, and they're like, yeah, I saw the first one, and I just don't need to see it again. So I really think that's gonna play into this one too. Like, it's kind of a one and done. Like, once you see it, you don't really have to rewatch it. I don't think there's anything too in depth about it.
Right, exactly. And I mean, I think there's a big, again, take on society here as like in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But, it just, again, it's like one of those movies that has a message, but didn't want to say the message. And it just is like, well, since I'm here, I might as well say my message, but like make sure it's done proper.
Oh.
But yeah, and we won't do since it's so early, I don't think it's well worth it to do a spoiler talk of this movie. I don't know about you, but like...
Oh, I thought I wanted to talk about the ending.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, sure, why not?
I'll
Okay,
convince Ethan, everyone. Don't worry.
Before we do, guess, okay, Annmarie, what did you, out of how many, what would be a good one? Okay, out of how many mallets to the head?
Gosh, I don't want to.
How many out of 10 would you give Joker?
You should have said Harley Quinn's mallet because your mallet's always like big in the animated series. Again, I think this movie just doesn't need to be here, and it doesn't really establish anything big. And so, again, something so special about the first Joker was it felt like a one and done, and then Todd Phillips was forced to do this one. So I'd be interested to see interviews with him, but I think overall I'm just very mixed about it, so I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
I would say, with the intent, like if I'm not looking at it from my perspective, just like with the filmmaker's perspective of what he intended to do with what he had and what he needed to do, I would say it's executed almost flawlessly. I say almost because I do think there were some moments throughout the movie where I'm like, you could have probably cut that, or you could cut some here and there. And so I would probably give it a 9. 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Just because of that. Like, again, it's not like a big thing. Like, it's not the biggest criticism in the world, but it was definitely noticeable that kind of made the movie feel like it dragged a little more than it should have. But overall, I would say it's damn near close to a 10 out of 10 if it weren't for that aspect.
Yeah.
But for me personally, viewing it, and the number that immediately comes to mind when I think of this movie now, probably like a 7 or 8, you know? Like, for me personally, that's my subjective number. Objective, 9. Subjective,
I think that's fair.
7.
Yeah.
So, but hey guys, have you seen Joker yet? Were you part of the early screening crew that got to go see it in IMAX? Did you guys, are you guys planning to go see it? I mean, are you excited for it? Do you think it's going to be better or worse than the second one? We have our thoughts. We have our opinions, but we want to know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below. And with that, Annmarie, let's move on to a little spoiler talk.
Yes.
Oh, God, I don't like how I said that. Why I say that? It's a late night. Ew.
Okay, everyone, this is spoilers. The movie is not out yet, so please, this is spoilers. This is your warning. Do not listen if you haven't seen it yet, pretty much, or if you don't care. So the ending, I'm going straight into the ending because that's the point that really changes of all of it.
Oh, he died.
He gets stabbed. Joker is dead. Which is, again, Todd Phillips being like, F you, I'm not making another one.
Yeah, it's Folie done.
I like that. Folie done. And honestly, I think this is the right move. I don't know where else you could go. Like, again, Todd Phillips does not enjoy this at all. And I just don't think you can do anything else.
Yeah, he made his first Joker movie and he was really happy with it. And then he made this one again because he was told to. And it's obvious that it was made like in spite of itself, like the way it was done. And it's just, yeah, I'm kind of glad that he executed Joker at the end as the punchline of a joke. It's kind of poetic that way. But yeah, I actually thought Harley was going to be the one to put a bullet in his brain.
Well, that's that's the other thing that is left off too. So Joker is being let down the whole way because he has a visitor. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be Harley, right? Obviously. So this is a fear of mine. I feel like if this does well, which we don't know, maybe Ethan and I don't want this to do well. No, we want the movie to do well.
No, I want it to do well, but like I don't want a sequel.
I wonder is they're gonna really push Harley Quinn and maybe a movie about her.
Is Lady Gaga's schedule opening up to do that?
You know what? She's been doing so many movies now.
A sequel?
Like a spin-off.
Right. Would she be willing to do that?
I don't know. Again, like, Todd Phillips wasn't willing to do this, and here we are now today.
Yeah, but like in an acting capacity, I think it's a little different, especially when you're a singer at the same time.
Well, yeah.
Performer.
It all depends if she's touring or not, too. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like she did enjoy this role, and it shows, but like, did she enjoy it enough to where she would think it, is worthy of a sequel where she would be heavily involved? Like, are you saying spin-off or sequel? Like, because spin-off could imply it would be like a prequel or like something that's going on concurrently with the original Joker from her perspective, or her origin story.
I think it's spin-off.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe that would be interesting. I'm not going to deny that. I think that would be very interesting. I don't think they're going to go that way, but then again, stranger things have happened. We have this movie now, and I thought Joker was going to be a one-off.
Yeah.
Again, now we're here. So, I don't know. I wouldn't be... Why should I be opposed? I don't think it would matter at this point.
Well, I also think they're going to push Lady Gaga for Best Supporting Actress. I don't think Joaquin's going to get a nomination, but I would bet Lady Gaga gets a nomination.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of my mindset too. Because Joaquin Phoenix, it's essentially the same... It is the same role, but like it's the same performance.
Mm-hmm.
It is... I think his performance here, though, is a little better, like in regards to channeling that Joker energy that we all know, than the first one. And I think that makes more sense because it is more like he's had more time to play and channel the character. So, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. We'll have to see, but what was your favorite song? We didn't even talk about that.
Oh, God, I don't know what any of them are called. You kidding me?
I like Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn performance when she was playing on the piano, and it was On the Mountain.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
I like the one... here's the thing with how they did the music. It didn't really feel like a true beginning or end to some songs. Maybe I like the one that was kind of like gospel-y sounding with the organ.
Yes, yeah.
Either that one or the one that sounded like you walked into a Portillo's. If you've been to a Portillo's, you know what we're talking about.
You know which one.
Get to that speakeasy. But, yeah, that would probably be it. The one where they're running out of the asylum and just kind of like partying it up and dancing around, and there's like a little bit of a jazzy bit to it. And yeah, I mean, I enjoyed those little last aspects of it all.
Oh man, you guys, don't let us influence you. Go see it to have your own opinion about it, and then if you agree, let us know.
Yeah, I mean, hey, guys, this movie, like, heck, there were people that were in the theater that had very drastically different reactions to certain scenes and laughed their butts off at scenes where I'm like, that's dark, bro. Like,
that's not funny.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, hey, again, all film is subjective, and we want to know your takes on our tapes along with your takes on these movies. Yes. So, guys, that's Joker Folie à Deux. We're excited to get your thoughts on it all, but we've shared ours, and God, I just hope they don't make a third one. I just really don't. Poor Todd Phillips if he's forced to do another one.
Leave him alone.
Leave Todd alone. Oh, God, what dated reference. But hey, guys, again, I think we are only doing a review for this one, so thank you for joining us this far into the podcast. If you have haven't ejected this far in, regardless, please don't forget to rewind. And don't forget to hit that like button. This is subscribe button and all the buttons that typically make the positive things happen. So, with that, Annmarie, I think we must wish our cassette tape crew adieu.
Go check out the new Mozart song.